So today in the another topic of vitamins, we are going to discuss about another fat soluble vitamin, that is vitamin E. The E includes the tocopherol, tocotrienol, and the vitamin E is naturally occurring antioxidant. The vitamin B is one of those vitamins that acts as antioxidant because it has chromin ring in it. So due to this chromin ring, the vitamin E can act as antioxidant. Now let us discuss about the various biochemical functions of the vitamin E. Various biochemical functions are, as I have already told you, the vitamin E acts as antioxidant. So the vitamin E has antioxidant property. This vitamin protects RBC and the membranes from the free radical damage. How does it protects RBC and membranes from free radical damage? It inactivates the free radicals. The free radicals that are generated from the peroxide damages the RBCs and the membrane, and they may deform the shape of the RBC and various other biological membranes. But the vitamin E inactivates those free radicals, and those free radicals cannot attack the RBC membrane and various other biological membrane. The vitamin E also boosts immune system. It reduces the risk of atherosclerosis by reducing oxidation of low density lipoprotein. Now let us discuss about vitamin E and selenium. The vitamin E and selenium, the vitamin E and selenium acts synergistically. The selenium is found in the enzyme glutathione peroxidase that destroys free radicals. And antioxidant function like vitamin E. The selenium also has the antioxidant function like vitamin E, and the vitamin E and selenium acts synergistically. So sometimes if there is lack of vitamin E, the selenium also can act, and if there is lack of selenium, the vitamin E also can act as selenium, or vice versa. Now let us discuss what is the recommended daily allowance of the vitamin E. In the males it is 10 mg per day, whereas in the female it is 8 mg per day. In the pregnancy it is about 10 mg per day. In the lactation it is 12 mg per day. Now let us discuss about the various sources of the vitamin E. They are vegetable oils like cottonseed oil, and it is also found in wheat. Now, what are the various manifestations that occurs due to deficiency of the vitamin E? The deficiency of vitamin E results in hemolytic anemia, acantholysis, muscle weakness, and there will be also demyelination of the posterior columns and demyelination of the spinocerebellar tract. If there is demyelination of the posterior column, then there will be decreased position and vibration sensation. And if there is demyelination of spinocerebellar tract, then there will be the ataxia. One main thing you have to discuss, you have to know, is that the neurological presentation may appear similar to the vitamin B12 deficiency, but the vitamin E deficiency present without megaloblastic anemia, hypersegmented neutrophils, or increased serum methylmalonic acid levels. So in the vitamin E and vitamin B12 deficiency, both can appear as the neurological presentation may both act as vitamin E or vitamin B12 deficiency, but the megaloblastic anemia, hypersegmented neutrophil, or increased serum methylmalonic acid level is only found in vitamin B12 deficiency, not in vitamin E deficiency. Now let us discuss what will be the result if there is excess of vitamin D. There will be the risk of enterocolitis in infant. It has the mild anticoagulant effect. So if there is increased dose of vitamin E, then there will be the alteration of metabolism of vitamin K. So the anticoagulant effect will be enhanced in warfarin intake. So while taking warfarin, if there is excess of vitamin E, then it can alter the metabolism of vitamin K, and it can enhance the anticoagulant effect. So we should take precaution regarding this situation. So this much for today. I hope you understood the vitamin E. Thank you.